So today I'm going to talk about the chain of yeses, and this is a name we came up with, and it's basically based on the idea that in order to accomplish your goals on your website, your visitor flow needs to be set up in an effective way. It's like a chain, if you like. So at each moment during their browsing journey, visitors are making a decision on whether they want to continue on your site or whether they leave. So they land on your homepage, and based on the information found and their general impression of the site, they either say, yes, this sounds like something for me, tell me more, or no, I'm going to check out other sites. And often things like clarity, relevance, trust, and appeal are factors that subconsciously play a role in this decision. So to use an analogy to explain further, your site and its visitor flow is like a river with water flowing through. In order for the water to flow freely, without it getting stuck along the way, you need to analyze the full riverbed for blockages, as one blockage can stop the full flow. The same thing goes for your website. It's really crucial to unblock all major blockages and then streamline your site even further. So the key is to really look at your website as a whole and analyze the traffic, look at the drop-offs, and find out visitor behavior along the way. And this way we can reduce the chance of getting no's along the way and strengthen our chain of yeses. So the one key thing to realize is that you really only need one no to lose them, to lose your visitors. So our goal is to create a chain of yeses all the way to the end conversion goal. So let me explain a bit further about how to create an effective chain of yeses on your website. So when a visitor lands on your website, it needs to be really clear straight away what main flow they should follow. So the visitor needs to be, if you like, taken by the hand and guided from generic, company-specific information on the homepage with an introduction to your product range or the services that you offer, and then to the contact information or call to action. And our goal should be to offer the right information at the right time in their inquiry process, and therefore again create a strong chain of yeses. So the first step in the orientation process often is the homepage. This gives the first impression of your company or your services. And as you know, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So it's really important to offer company and generic service information that builds trust and credibility and interest on the homepage. And also display the key reasons for working with you or buying from you. And then guide the visitor to the subpages or the landing pages that can inform them further on the key benefits and features. So the homepage really needs to have a primary call to action that guides them to your key goal, plus a number of secondary call to actions that can guide them along to other pages before taking them back to your main goal. Now, from the homepage, you then guide them along to the category pages, and that show your product range or range of services. And that helps the visitor to dig deeper into your offering. And it should offer all the information and reassurance needed for them to click through to an individual product or to a call to action. So the category page really needs to communicate the benefits of your product range or service range. And again, offer a strong, more tailored call to action. Now, important here is that your products or range of services is really clear and that the visitor will be able to choose from your options easily. And if needed, you may need to offer a clear way of filtering your range based on certain specific. For example, if you offer a clothing range, the visitor needs to be able to filter in terms of sizing, color, or style. Now then, from there on, you guide them along to your individual product pages. And that's really the spots, the pages, where you really need to generate the interest for that particular product or service, which can be supported by good product information, benefits, testimonials, ratings, those kind of things. It's really beneficial on this page to also offer a friendly, non-threatening way to connect with you if they choose to. There could be a friendly personal message from a key consultant or owner with a personal image that'll really add trust. And also it's important to offer clear benefits of contacting the office. Now, once a specific service or product is explored, the next action step again should be easy and inviting to take. So as you can see, we're constantly looking to optimize each page and really create a yes along the way. So that at any point in time in their journey, they want to find out more and they click to the next page. Now, when we're talking about e-commerce sites, it's obviously a very important part of the funnel will be the checkout. And the key here is to keep that process as smooth as possible. So things to be reminded of is to reconfirm benefits where possible across the flow, and overall continue to offer reinsurance until payment has been received. And that can be by using payment logos, having a guest checkout, and offering clarity around what happens next when ordering. Again, also here, the chain of yeses applies, and particularly once a visitor has actually added a product to their basket, it is important to ensure that as less a drop-off as possible. Because if you get a no at this stage in the process, everything else will have been for nothing really, and it breaks the chain, and therefore you will have a loss of revenue. So in this process I've just described, we've looked at traffic going from home page to category page, product page, and then the checkout. Now, this is obviously a simplified way of looking at visitor behavior. In reality, visitors go through your website in many different ways, and sometimes quite random. They might land on your home page, straight away click on Contact Us, then go back to a product page, continue on the About Us page, and then they might get back to the product and place an order. So that behavior often is quite random, depending on what their information requirements and needs are. So one important thing to do is to check your analytics. To learn more about your visitor behavior, we recommend analyzing your Google Analytics data and reviewing the flow paths of your site. That will give you a wealth of knowledge on where visitors go on your site and what the main funnels are, after which you can focus on optimizing these. Now, just a few examples of things that we might be doing wrong in terms of the chain of yeses. So I'll just discuss a few classic examples of where you might go wrong when optimizing your website. So the first one is optimizing the checkout only without looking into the previous pages that lead traffic into the checkout funnel. You may put all your focus on optimizing the checkout and wonder why you're not getting the results you're expecting. Now, that may be an indication that your leak is located earlier in the funnel. And unless you fix that first, not enough visitors will flow through your checkout, which will obviously inhibit the improvement you could be seeing. So again, it really pays to look at the whole funnel and not just part thereof. Another classic example of where we could go wrong is that we assume that the visitors take a certain pathway without checking this. We see our clients sometimes making assumptions about where visitors probably click next or how they should be browsing, and base their optimization efforts on these assumptions. But knowledge really is key, and it is very important to check your stats and visualize the visitor flows through your sites properly before you decide on the page to put your focus on. Because sometimes the results are actually quite surprising, and your visitors may go through your website in a very different way than you initially expect. Another thing to remind is that if there's not enough alignment between pages or points of contact in the funnel, creating friction and therefore the possibility of a no. And this journey starts at the very first point of exposure. When a visitor clicks on an ad, it is really important that the landing page is well aligned with the ad they clicked on to give them the reassurance that they have landed on the right spot. And from there, whenever the visitor clicks on a call to action button or menu, the resulting page should continue where they left and therefore offer a seamless experience. Alignment can be created by using the same wording and imagery, for example. And again, this is all about that creating the chain of yeses and really guiding that process along. Now, finally, another thing we come across sometimes is where a company really tries to push product and service information or other key information on all the pages rather than the selected pages this information should be on. So when we assess websites, we regularly come across sites where duplicate information is offered. And that could be maybe out of a fear of this not being communicated strongly enough. It could be that information about the value proposition we see offered on the About Us page instead of communicating the information that should be on an About Us page. Or the homepage focuses straight away on the details of products without offering introductory and trust-building information about the company as a whole. So that's just a few examples. I could go on like this, but here are the key things I wanted to mention today. And so just to reiterate, the key is really to see your website as a chain of yeses and look at every step of the way how to optimize your funnel in order to create yes as much as possible. And that is in a nutshell our thoughts about the chain of yeses. Hopefully this is helpful for you to implement to optimize your website and your digital channels. So thanks very much for listening, and feel free to get in touch if you are interested to learn more or discuss your particular website optimization in more details. And of course, feel free to leave your comment below. Thanks for listening.